We finally turned the corner last month. A year ago, we thought it could be April or May. We missed it by 6 months, but it finally happened. So, for December, we will talk about rates, but we'll also look back a bit and look forward. We end the year going into more depth to discuss 2023 and how our guidance played out. In 2023, I was off the mark for much of the year, but we are strongly suggesting a floating bias with a confidence score of 9. So, what happened last month, you may ask? We finally got the cryptic guidance from the Federal Reserve about lowering short-term rates, which has moved mortgage rates down. They finally started to cave with their bluster of higher for longer. Bonds actually having one of the strongest months since the 1980s based on the performance of the broad indexes. It is a safe bet that bond yields and mortgage rates finally peaked in November, even though we thought last May would be this peak. So what does this mean? Two important things. The first, job growth this entire year was dismal. Every job reported the same misleading data and pattern. Strong or stable numbers followed by large downward revisions. Do not fall for the trick of Fed job reports. The ADP reports tell the real story. The bottom line is there has been no real job growth. Secondly, we now have a forecast for short terms being reduced. The Fed does not set mortgage rates, but they do correlate to short-term rates that are set by the Fed. May is now considered the month that we will see our first reduction. However, there is lots of traction that it will be in the first quarter. This anticipation will drive rates down over the next 90 days, but with continued unsteady. For 2023, our guidance was off for some months and flat out wrong in a few. So what happened? The Fed was in a difficult position of managing inflation and managing debt. They decided to sacrifice debt to remain more focused on inflation. This decision sacrificed housing and real estate, which is why we saw rates reach highs not seen in over 25 years. I did not expect the Fed to misread economic data, ignore jobs reports, and guide with higher rates. As we discussed last month, the US debt is now $34 billion, and this is now a hot topic. The Fed's decision has rapidly accelerated debt accumulation. Last month, we laid out our predictions for rates and projections for 2024, but here is some additional information. 2024 is an election year, and rates typically show declines or stability, as higher rates can be a hot debate topic for bipartisan finger-pointing. We are most likely in or about to officially start a recession. This is usually not confirmed by the NBER for 6 to 9 months after it starts. Most experts expect a mild to severe recession, and many feel commercial real estate could be significantly impacted. Recessions are typically favorable for interest rates and real estate. I live and work in Contra Costa, and here is a very important number. The estimate for residential real estate transactions for 2024 is $8.5 billion. 2022 was considered a strong year and resulted in $9.7 billion. 2024 looks to be about 90% of the volume we saw just 2 years ago. We have about 30 days left in 2023, and rates appear to have peaked. There is now stronger sentiment and optimism for home buyers in 24 as 23 look like both a bottom and peak in many areas. Hope you enjoyed this mortgage update. Remember, I am advising you and your clients to float over the next 30 days, and we feel a strength of 9 on a confidence scale.